Hi, I'm Dave Hughes and welcome to my shop. Today I'd like to be the first to introduce to you a brand new accessory for the gripper. Now, in case you're not familiar with what a gripper is, this is a holding device that allows us to operate our table saw, our router, bandsaw, joiners safely and keeping our fingers away from those cutting surfaces. It's got a non-slip surface on the underside here that holds the wood better than your own hands do. The side of the gripper is perfectly flat and allows us to use it up against a fence or up against a table like you see over here in the bandsaw for resawing, or over there on the router table as a guide point. Now, these tools work incredibly well, and one of the things over the years we've been asked by our customers are that when we're working on longer pieces of stock, how do we grab that back edge and carry that through past that blade without running the risk of getting our fingers close to the blade, or even on a joiner or on a router table? Well, the makers of the gripper have come up with a solution for you. It's called our gravity heel. You can see I've got one attached on the back side of the gripper here. And the way it works is the heel itself is actually spring loaded, so it has the proper tension on it that allows it to drop itself back down but automatically lift itself up when I place it on a flat surface. So if we take one that you see on the back side of the gripper here and we position it down, you'll see that heel automatically lifts itself up out of the way. Now, why do you want it to lift? Well, when you're working on really long stock, we're going to rely on the pads for drawing this past the table saw blade or router or joiner. But as we get close to the end of the board, we want that heel to grab the backside to help carry it through or past that saw blade. Let me show you how easy it is to work. I've got a long piece of stock here, typical of what we'd be cutting on our table saw. And when you're working on longer pieces like this, you want to work with two grippers. We're going to start by positioning our first gripper and push it and slide against the fence. We're allowing the edge of the gripper to guide along the table saw. And that gravity heel is going to automatically lift itself up out of the way. As we move down the board, we'll use our second gripper and basically feed this through. Let's go ahead and make a cut. We grab our second gripper, place it down here on top, and carry that cut all the way through, keeping our fingers safely out of the way. As we come down to the back side here, that gravity heel grabs a hold of the back side and carries that board through real easily past that saw. So even the longest of cuts become real simple, and it keeps our fingers safe. Now, that's the first way that we're going to use this gravity heel on longer pieces to carry through. Excellent for on the table saw. It's incredible on joiners. It works incredibly well over here on the bandsaw for resawing as well. That's the beauty about this gripper. The side of the gripper is flat and square, so if I had a resaw project, we place that on the table here, and it helps me keep the board nice and straight to that saw blade, and that gravity heel is going to help me pull this past that saw blade. Now, the real thing that I love about this tool is how we're actually going to use it over here on the router table. Now, over on the table saw, you tighten the knob up so it allows the heel to go up and down. When I'm using it over here on the router table, I've actually locked the heel into place so that we can actually have that support at all times when we're running wood past our cutters. Now, I'm doing a coping cut here with a router bit, and one of the biggest problems that you have when you run across the grain is you get all this blowout or tear out on the back side. Not anymore. What we're going to do is this becomes a zero clearance for on our router. Let me show you what I mean. Absolutely no tear out across that grain. It's a nice clean cut. And the reason for that is that our gravity heel has essentially supported the stock all the way behind it and created that zero play on the back side. Now, you can buy replacement gravity heels and actually start making them for all types of profiles. There's a bull nose, This is an OG. I've got one for a lock miter. I got one for my glue joint. And essentially it eliminates all that tear out for you. But what I really like about them is that this is a permanent picture of how I had my router bit height set up. So after I finish my project, if I ever want to come back to that exact same profile, I take that gravity heel, I bring it over onto my table, and I use that for actually setting up the height of the bit. All in all, I think you'll be very impressed if you decide to get yourself some of these gravity heels for your grippers, and it will become a very useful accessory in your shop. I'm Dave Hughes, and thanks for watching.